Hey there. So my goal today is to create a Solidity tutorial. We're going to do this using the ChainShot Builder. Let's get started. Alright, so first things first, you're going to need a node so that you can have NPM, and we're going to go ahead and install the ChainShot Builder globally. This will take just a second. Great. So now we have the ChainShot Builder CLI downloaded to our machine, so we can go ahead and start building content. How we're going to do this is first we're going to create a new folder. So I'm going to call it wallet tutorial. So you can see I created it right here on my desktop. Now I'm going to move into that wallet tutorial, and I'm going to say ChainShot Builder init. What this is going to do is it's going to go ahead and create a bunch of new folders inside of my wallet tutorial folder, and that's going to be the place where I'm going to store all my content updates. Great. Okay. So you can see here we have a bit of a UI that just got spun up. This UI is going to be directly modifying folders that are written inside of this wallet tutorial folder. So let's take a look at what's inside there. Cool. Alright, so inside our wallet tutorial, let's move it over here. Inside of our wallet tutorial, you can see we have a couple things. So we have a config. This is going to be the configuration of the models that we're writing. And then our readme, which is just going to tell us a little bit more information if we need to look it up. Cool. So let's go ahead and make a wallet tutorial. So today, I'm going to create a lesson. So let's create a new one. Let's call it wallet tutorial. This version is going to be Solidity. Let's say it'll take about an hour. I'm not going to worry about the thumbnail URL for now. And let's say production ready. Let's let our users see it. Okay. Let's give them a basic intro. As we get a little bit more into building this, we can come back and make that a little better. So let's add our first stage. Most important thing to start off a Solidity contract is writing our constructor. So let's go ahead and make a stage about teaching how to write the constructor. As you notice there, I used a template. I could also create it from a blank stage, but a template is just going to help me set up things much quicker. As you can see here, most of this is already filled out. That's because I used the template. The template is a Solidity template. So most of my configuration for my stage, as well as my code files, is already sort of filled out. This is going to be a lot easier to get going. Okay, so first you can see here this details markdown file. I'm not going to worry about this for now. This is going to be a pretty simple stage, so I'm going to remove it. This won't even show up for the user now. Now for the task, we're going to explain to the user what they need to do in order to pass this stage. Okay, that's pretty basic. Let's come back to that. This is the completion message. This is where we can say congratulations to our user and let them know they did a good job. Awesome. I'm not going to worry about validations for now. It's a bit of an advanced feature, but if you need to know more, you can always go here to the documentation. Okay, so let's set up our tests. So our tests, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create participant A. It's going to come from our accounts. This is passed in by truffle. And participant B. It's going to be the second account. So we're expecting that our contract is going to accept these two arguments. Let's call our contract wallet. Alright, so we already have a test case set up for us. But instead of this beneficiary, let's say it should set the participant A address. So when they call the participant A getter, we expect to get something that is going to be this address. So let's say that they'll be equal. We're going to want to do something very similar for participant B. Great. Okay. So let's go ahead and see if we can set up the code for the user. Alright. So as you can see here, we have this contract.sol. This is going to have the initial code, which is going to be what the user initially can set up. So we're going to call the contract wallet. Let's set the user up with a to-do. Okay, now for us, we're going to go ahead and create a solution to make sure our tests are working the way we expect them to. So remember that we expected a participant A as well as a participant B. And then we expected our wallet function, the constructor, to take in these addresses. So participant A should be set to A, participant B should be set to B. Great, let's run these tests. Alright, running the code. Awesome. Okay, so it set the participant address. Alright, let's see how, well, before we leave here, let's create another stage. I'm going to create another stage that we can work on in a minute. I'm going to call it withdraw. This is where they can start to withdraw funds that have come from the wallet. Create a Solidity stage. Okay, cool. We'll come back to that later. So now let's take a look at our wallet tutorial. Remember, this is the folder that we created and then ran the ChainShot Builder into. As you'll notice here, the stages that we created are already inside of our wallet tutorial. So you can come in here, you can see the congratulations message that we set up, the details, remember we didn't set up any, the task, and things like our contract, this is the solution, and then the setup, which is what the user is going to start with. And then inside here in our configuration, we have some of the more messy stuff that we wouldn't want to be editing directly. But this is the stuff that is going to set it up so that we know exactly how these code files and solutions and everything should behave inside of our application. Okay, great. So now let's get that up in a UI that our users can start to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and split this. So that we can keep our ChainShot Builder running. And I'm going to go over to our wallet tutorial. Cool. So now we're in our wallet tutorial. First thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to initialize a new Git repository. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to want to go out to GitHub here. I'm going to create a new repository. I'm going to call it wallet tutorial. Let's create this repository. Alright, now let's pull our remote. Okay, so all those changes that we made here, all this new content, I'm going to want to go ahead and push up. So let's add everything. Cool. This is all the stuff we've created. You're doing a great job. Alright, now let's go ahead and add the origin. Oh, not what I wanted to do. I'm going to clear that out and add the remote. Cool. And now I'm going to go ahead and push up to our master. There it is. All right, cool. So now we have it out on our GitHub repository. So the next thing we want to do is we want to connect this so that our users can begin to take this tutorial that we've created. So I'm going to go out to ChainShot.com and I'm going to go to My Content. This is going to be where I can manage my own content. And remember what we named it. We named our repository Wallet Tutorial. So I'm going to connect my wallet tutorial, which as you can see is connected to my GitHub. I'm going to go ahead and pull this over. Great. So now let's configure our wallet tutorial. As you'll notice, it's already deployed. That means that all the content we already have is now live out on ChainShot. So if I go to this URL, you'll see our wallet tutorials here. Awesome. Let's learn more. Hey, there's our intro. It's going to teach us how to build a wallet in Solidity. Let's get started. All right, and we have our constructor. Well, we got to create a constructor, and we have our tests, just the way we set it up. All right, so let's go ahead and create a constructor. And we're going to want to make our public addresses, participant A and participant B. And we're going to take in some addresses, just like we did in our solution. Does this compile? Awesome. No compilation errors. Let's go ahead and run this. Whoa, we passed. Look at that. We're on our way to making a great contract. Now, this task wasn't very good. It didn't really tell our users anything about what the participant A and participant B should be. So let's say we want to update that real quick. So let's go back to our wallet tutorial UI inside of our builder, and we're going to update the task and details. So first, let's break this out a little. So participant A is a public address, and participant B is also a public address. Great. That's a little more information already. Now let's tell them the constructor should take in these two arguments and set them and create getters for each of them as named above. Okay, that's a little bit more information. Maybe inside of our details we'll want to create something about what addresses are, and we could link out to our maybe out to Solidity. Cool. Learn more about Solidity types. Okay, that could be helpful. So let's go ahead and update this. Great. Now how long does it take for that to get out here? Let's see. Ah, look at that. We already have it. So here's a little more information about our wallet constructor. And you can see we already have our details, which links us out to the Solidity docs. Oh, that's great. If you ever want to see whether or not your content is deployed and how many times it has deployed, you can always go back here to the wallet tutorial configuration, and you can check on the latest deployments. So you can see it deployed initially today at 4:34 and deployed again just now when I made commits. Great. All right. And that's all. So I'm going to link down below this video some URLs to the documentation to learn more. You can come to this GitHub repository and fork it and begin from here, or create your own content and get going.